it was bad luck.
You know, now, being that it's all settled and done, I think it taught me a life lesson. You know, that lesson is valuable.
Never
It's
use your credit for another motherfucker.
no, yeah, that too,
that,
that too.
that's the lesson I learned.
You can use it for your own children.
I wouldn't even use it for my kid. My mom won't co-sign for me to do shit, and my aunt, no, ain't nobody gonna use their credit on you.
My parents did it for me. I did it for my son. Yeah,
Nobody.
you're supposed to actually help your
That's what
children
I
out.
did for mine. Did it for
Yeah,
my sister.
I did it for my son. Absolutely. It's not about getting out the mud. The reason I got out the mud is so he doesn't have to get out the mud.
I had to get mine out the mud.
Oh,
But nah,
no.
what did you learn from it, Eugene? You said you learned something. What did you learn?
But he said, "Killer Jamal, he crack it up." I like.
I was gonna stay in the audience, but that's one of my favorite stories you've ever told. Is that one?
Right, and I told you the truth. Allah knows,
Yeah,
man. I told every one of you who are listening, my voice to God, honest truth. But the lesson I learned is, again, sometimes when you find people in situations in life and they're at a certain age, they there for a reason. That's the first lesson. The second lesson is that you just can't help people. You just can't.
Yeah, in addition to, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
In addition to your lesson, another lesson is sometimes the kindest thing to do or the best thing to do is to say no.
Right, that got to part.
Sometimes, we give in because we think that's the kindest thing to do or the best thing to do. But sometimes the best option is to say no.
I agree.
It depends on the person and the scenario.
No, I ain't taking no chances. Fuck that. No, sir. My oldest daughter, I heard somebody say that. Now, her, AJ, Fire Red, the one that comes through here, she can get it. I don't give a damn. Now, her, well, I go broke with that one.
I think it's imperative of black parents taking chances on their children so they don't have to go through the same stuff that the parents and the grandparents did. I'm a firm believer of that. That's how legacies are built.
But sometimes you just have to enact tough love. You use certain things because some people they use kindness as a weakness and they will continue to use you as long as you allow it. So sometimes you have to cut them off so that they will stand on their own bottom. My mother used to tell me all the time, every bathtub has to sit on its own bottom. So sometimes you just have to say no and force them to take up their own cross, so to speak.
But when you were a child, your parents picked you up and carried you around. So at some point, there is a carrying around.
As a child, I would agree, but at a certain point, you got to stand on your own too.
It feels better when you get it on your own. It feels a lot better when you able to figure it out, maneuver through it, and get it on your own. Even though like I said, I would send my mom bread every week, and when I needed her, she'd be like, "No, hell no." Nah.
Well, talking about damn siblings, I got a younger brother. It's only three of us that my mom had, and I got older brothers outside of my mom's and my dad's relationship. But my younger brother, he's doing 25 years in the state of Florida. He's been in there about like maybe 17, 18 years now. And so my mom, and he's the youngest, and this dude is in there smoking all kind of shit. Weed, Molly, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but she expect me to take care of him. You know what I'm saying? She expect me every time he calls for money and okay, your brother needs money, send him money. Now, my brother is 50 years old with no children. Not one. He's doing this time, and God knows how many damn pairs of sneakers this dude I'm supposed to have had. I mean, with the money that since I've been home, that I sent him, he should be running the goddamn prison. Honestly, right? Let me tell you what happened. Let's share another little personal story. And my Michelle, I got that clip, and I'm gonna play this clip about this Gavin Newsom thing. This dude in there smoking all kind of shit. There's people, right? I got kind of a reputation. So there's people that know me that have been there and hanging out with some of the homeboys that have been in the prisons with him and all this stuff, and they telling me these stories how he's in there running them up. So now I haven't told my mom quite all of this, but I told her that I was gonna stop sending him money, right? And I think I'm gonna break down one day and just tell her, what I know, But I told her after coming to the grips of this is that I'm gonna send it to him when I want to send it to him, not when he asks. That's how it's gonna go. So she gets a little mad at me now, but she loved this dude. She feels like, okay, you doing good. You should be taking care of your brother. No, hell no. That Negro 50 years old, no children. He should be on top of the world. So I'm sending this money, and then this dude in there smoking that shit. They call it what they call that stuff? Tucci. That's it. Yeah, Tucci. That's it. I know. Let me tell y'all this story. This goddamn white girl called me on the phone. Now, her son, she's calling me for him, my brother. But, so when she calls, and kind of 3 ways to call and all of this, so I agree to give the white girl the money to put on his books or whatever he got going on. After we get him off the phone, the goddamn white woman called me back. And she said, I just wanna share this with you. My son in there, he has a drug habit. She told me, said, my son has a drug habit. And if your brother's hanging out with my son, there's something wrong. She said that, yeah. I was calling my mom, which is older, and her son is willing his grandmother, which is her mother, out of money. And she says she's not sending him any. So, and then she said that her son told her that my brother is in there smoking too. Yeah, a white woman. Don't even know this goddamn woman. I sent the $50 anyway. He wanted 100. I sent him 50. And I sent money after that as well. But the thing is that, again, grown men, I can understand you may have a drug habit, but you ain't finna I work too hard for my money. And there's a lot of times I get 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep because of my schedule and the things that I got going. So I just feel like that if you in jail and I'm sending you the money I'm working for and you going there, you giving it to somebody else, man, I'm gonna cash out all kind of goddamn people monies because he want me to send money here, send money there. I don't know what the hell he got going on, but that shit gonna Richard, no. Okay? No. That shit gonna stop. That nigga that's smoking up my goddamn money. I don't know what
prison gang. Cause my nephew was like that. That nigga used to take black eyes and everything. My mom be like, "Oh Lord, they gonna kill him."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
That boy
this shit crazy.
Hi, Eugene. Hi, Erica.
Hey, who that is?
It's
What up,
Laura. I've been talking.
Aurora, what up?
I didn't mean to say the B word last night. I'm sorry. I was really stoned and yeah. I kind of forgot because I hadn't been in here and I didn't even know what the new rules were, so I didn't know.
Yeah, well, you know now.
I know now, but he was kind of being one, but it's okay.
Okay, we'll be good. You good. But yeah, Erica, man, I'm straight up with you, man. That shit there, man, I'm like, man, this shit crazy. I ain't sending my money.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
What up, family?
Hey, what's up, big guy? What's going on with you?
What's going down? What we talking about?
Oh, we're gonna talk about this Gavin Newsom thing, man. We was in here just kind of sidetracking, kicking some personal.
Oh, you talking about Gavin Newsom calling us stupid and low IQ?
Yeah, man.
At least I don't have to worry about being called to be in here. You know what I mean?
Ma'am, can I speak, ma'am?
Sorry.
You not talk over me, ma'am.
Oh, Erica, you ready to come out of was your work?
You so stupid.
Hey, hold on. You know, I need to get rid of this pink ticket. I need to get rid of this pink ticket.
Get rid of it. And while you getting rid of it, I'm gonna play this clip Michelle sent me. So, God, here's Gavin Newsom, right, to a black crowd in Georgia. Here we go. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. And I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy, I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. It's maybe the wrong business to be in. I'm not. All right, so that's it. So do you think, from what I heard is in my first time here, do you think he meant it like that? The way that people interpret it?
No.
Or he was No?
No, I don't think he did. And I'm the first one to give white folks all the smoke, but I think he was comparing himself to other white men, That's my interpretation of it. I could be wrong.
I think for me, hearing it for the first time is what got black people is that this thing, hey you, or you guys, you know what I'm saying? That I'm just like you, or you guys and stuff like that. That's a trigger word or some type of keyword for black people when white people are talking. And I think that's we may have gotten out of context. I don't think he was meaning it. I don't know. I think he was in essence saying that I'm no better than the rest of some people who may have an issue. I just don't think he has. He got the gut.
I think he was being what's the word? Demoralizing.
Transparent.
Like.
He was trying to be transparent, but he was talking to a room.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, who the fuck? So you telling me you don't know any black person with a higher IQ than 64?
He didn't say IQ, he said SAT score. So in California alone, as a California resident, and I don't know the man's heart, met him a few times, but don't know his heart. What he's done specifically for black people, not Spanish or Asians, in California, is he established that Bureau for Descendants of American Slavery to manage reparations efforts, which is SB 518.
So you think every black person is dumb?
No, I'm not.
You think all the black people in LA is dumb? That's what you said?
No, that's not what I said.
That's what the governor said. He said that.
No, the brother who just played his audio, he was condescending himself to Lord. Just like
he was talking. So how can you vote for somebody that comes down to us like that?
So I know what he did with criminal justice reform by signing the California Racial Act.
Before we go to the criminal justice
2542.
Hey, Catalyst, before you go to that, let's go back to the speech. Because you said he was doing it to himself. But do you realize the baseline he used to do himself? To do it to himself. Do you understand?
I hear, and I hear you all. I'm not defending him at all. I'm only showing you what he has done for black Californians since I've been in California.
Yeah, I know about that part. I'm talking about this racial part.
You're absolutely defending it. That's exactly what you're doing.
So he did the safety.
No,
right?
we don't
created the ebony alert.
Can we stay on the speech though?
Okay.
I'm
just talking about actions. He asked me what has he done. I was giving you the list.
He was in a room talking to a room full of black people saying, I'm just like you. I made a 960 on my SAT. I can't read. I'm just like you.
See, and that's what I was talking about. Now, if he would have said something like, I'm just like the average person or average people, but I'm just like you and you got a room full of black people, that's, to me, is where it came in. If he said, I'm less like the average American, you know, maybe it wouldn't have been taken like that. But when he said, "I'm just like you," you got room.
He's not. He can't say that. That's one thing that we're missing. That's right. He had one thing we're missing is he got dyslexia and all types of shit, right? So he got special education. So he can't say he's like the average American because the average American doesn't have a learning disability. But when he's talking to a room full of black people, his learning disability puts him on the same level as those black people. Don't miss that, right? And then something else, you have to look at the attitude of the white liberal out there in that section, right? I bring this up a lot. There's a interview a dude named Ari Horowitz did, right? And it was about the voter ID laws, and he was asking white liberals out in California, I think he was on like the campus of UC Berkeley, he was asking them like, do you think the voter laws are racist? And the answers they were giving is the same type of answers he was giving. Yeah, black people don't know how to go get IDs. They don't know how to work the internet. Black people don't know where the DMV is. That's the attitude of the white liberal, especially out there.
But here's the thing, there's not, when it comes to ethnicity, there's not like any disability that has to do with ethnicity that's higher than the other. So I'm trying to understand what this
and as it relates to UC Berkeley, 40% of the population is Asian or white, along with Chinese, Latinx. Those aren't liberal people. They claim to be liberal as long as it serves them. But the white thinking liberal at UC Berkeley is not pro-black, revolutionary, reparations, black first liberal. They're not that at all. They are a different version of MAGA folk. But they like to call themselves liberal because they don't want to identify with that.
But I think more around, Raven, is that you in your PTR picture? Is that you? Because I just looked through, my first time ever hearing you speak, I've seen you on the stage, and I was looking through your profile, clicking your link. There's something in your profile that says words have power. And that right there for me is what kind of where I'm still at with what he's saying. The words he chooses to use, they got power. You know, when he's saying, hey, I'm just like you guys, those words, man, they got power. And it's sort of like that. I still think if he would have chose a different, choose different words to express what I think he was trying to say. But then and again, you know, sometimes when you're rooted into racism and you're rooted in this, it's a subliminal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a inherited thing. So you'll say certain things that bring out what you're rooted and grounded in, if that makes sense. I hope I explained it the way I was thinking of it.
This is the same.
You know what that is? That ain't nothing but, cause I'm from the South, and that don't sound nothing to me. But like, you know, I'm growing up, you hear shit like that. You know, different words, but you hear shit like that. That same tone, like, oh well, you know, some white people wanna be related to, for whatever reason. They want to be relatable to black people for some whatever reason, right? And they say shit like that, and they think about shit that's relatable for whatever. It can be anything. Yeah, and it can be something that we really can't control, or we just, you know, some fucked up shit for real, and they'll relate to that because it's fucked up. But it's just something they want to relate to us. So he's saying that he's just like us. He's basically picturing like, yeah, man, I'm no different from you. Don't look past the skin tone. I'm just like you. You know, that's what he's.
You realize he signed the state's first reparations bureau.
One of my favorite expressions. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm like, I hear what you all are saying, and it could very much so be true. But I look at what a person does, not what they say they're doing. And there's a list of things specifically in California that this governor has done on behalf or for black people directly, from reparation task force to the formal state apology, on behalf of the role of slavery, the first reparations bureau of establishing a law to return property back to black people. The Ebony Alert system, the first state to implement the Ebony Alert, the system to help people find black children and young women who are overlooked in traditional alerts. The whole chokehold thing, they got rid of that. The death penalty moratorium, and then the Maternal Health Equity Act, the Mobius Act to tackle racial disparities in maternal and infant health, which includes providing Medi-Cal coverage for doulas, requiring anti-bias training for prenatal health workers, the Crown Act for black women and men, discrimination based on hair texture, the Racial Equity Commission is putting in the actual state budget of proposals and policies for equity. That's not just for gay people, it's black people. And then the Food and Medical Desert Protection thing, SB 1089, requiring stores and pharmacies to give advance foreclosing to help prevent food closures in disproportionately black or in communities. There's several things that have taken place that this governor has done for black people here. So, and I don't give him a pass on what he did or what he said at all. I'm just saying, I look at what a person says and actually what they do. Alan.
Just a quick question. Just a real quick statement, and I'll be out the way. One of the expressions that I've heard majority of my life is that I have a number of black friends. Okay, that comes coming from the people that think. So they sometimes they just speak out of place. I don't take it personal when they say.
Hey, you guys for me is just I can't get over that one. That's where I'm at. Go ahead. I think it was Raven or Michelle, one of y'all guys.
I was gonna ask Catalyst. I listened to what you were saying, and all I could see with my eyes closed is a white man speaking.
Okay, well, as a black man speaking, this governor made sure that Bruce's Beach will return to the descendants of the original black owners in Manhattan Beach after it was seized by white
Because I think Richard stop. Like, why do you do what you do? Why do you come on an app? Why do you do what you do?
Because I'm a black revolutionary in America. That's why I do what I do, like my father was and my uncles. And not being emotional, but being fact and logic based.
You're the reason why my brother got off this app. Is because some of you portray yourselves as black people behind a PTR. This is why he got off this app. And now I hear it, and to this day, it kind of bothers me when you guys do that. It's annoying, but it gets under my skin. But I just want somebody to answer the question, like, why do you do what you do? Like, why do you do it? I'm just, I just want to know. I wish somebody would answer that.
Well, Catalyst, let me ask you this. You said he did some type of reparations task force or something like that, where they're going to be looking for people, or what are they waiting for people to come and ask for the like, how is that going to work? Because a lot of people don't know their genealogy. And who's to say this task force would be like, oh, no, wasn't nobody in California slave. No. So how is this task force going to work?
So it was I'll put it in the chat. It was Assembly Bill 3121, cleared the legislature and was signed by Governor Newsom to establish a 9-person force to go into the more than 2 million black Americans, African Americans, and the migratory shift. I'll put it in the chat, so it's a long article. Hold up.
Said the what shift?
I'm going to put it in the chat. Hold on.
You said migrant
tell her.
shift?
Go ahead.
Did he just say migrant?
It's a long document. I'll put the bill in the chat.
You were speaking. Keep going. She asked you a question. Keep going.
Migrant.
How long ago was that task force
This
put
is
together?
like a couple of months ago. I remember looking at it and reading about it, but for me, it was just, it's a task force, but you know what I mean? In these type of situations, these subjects, I think they're really sensitive, and I don't know if I would trust the government to go through and just to say, yeah, you were a slave, you weren't a slave, you were a slave, you weren't a slave. So, I don't know. I just think these niggas, Huh?
I asked how long ago it was because it seems like he does this every time it's like an election time or some shit come around. He puts together something around reparations around that time, but never ever pays a check out though. Now, you did list a lot of things that he did, and I don't live in California, so I can't say whether it helped or it didn't help. I'm only speaking to this situation, and I think just like most white liberals, he's a racist. I don't have no problem with it. Yeah, you take that. I think that's what it is.
Most of that stuff wasn't just for black people, though. Like most of that stuff was for everybody. Everybody you get a check. Look.
He just fed into that stereotype that
the toilet and coming out the mouth.
Toilet. He that stereotype that the smartest black man is not smarter than the dumbest white man. So he's trying to compare himself to us because obviously nobody in the room is smarter than him because they black. That was the saying that they always had in this country. No matter how smart you are, one black man is less intelligent than the dumbest white man. So he's just playing to that. He's not racist.
Is there a possibility this was staged?
I just think it was ignorant. Go ahead.
He said it was staged. So what would be the point of staging that? What does that do?
Didn't somebody say poor kids are just as white, just as happy as white kids? Didn't somebody say that before?
That was Biden. That was Joe Biden, Joseph Biden.
He didn't want his kids going to school with your kids.
Reparations is one topic that I kind of avoid, but I got a question since it's been brought up. How are they going to pay a adjusted inflation rate? In other words, just like a dollar back in 1921 was worth XYZ. That same dollar is pretty much worthless today. So are they going to make adjustments for inflation when they pay out these reparations?
I don't think so. Richard, go look up Evanston, Illinois, I think. They passed one in 23, and from what I heard at that time, people got paid like $25,000. You can correct me if I'm wrong, if you find out that I'm wrong, but then I also read that they rehashed it because what they were trying to do is build up the funds from their marijuana sales. That's how they plan to pay for it. So I'm not really sure how many people's got it so far, but they did rehash it and more people are starting to come out and claim it. I guess the more people that do their genealogy, everything lines up.
We are setting ourselves up to be duped. When we let these state-by-state reparations task force give reparations and then give money as if reparations is only about money. Because once they give everybody a check and the system hasn't changed, nothing in the system has changed, we still under the same oppressive government that we've been under the same conditions and the same living conditions. Once we get that check's gonna go right back to them because we don't manufacture, we don't build houses, build cars, everything we're gonna go buy, we're gonna give our money right back to them. So they're just giving you money because they know it's gonna feed back into their economy. Reparations is not just a check, and if we accept that as just a check, then we are the biggest fools because reparations is really intended for our great-grandchildren. It's not intended necessarily for my pocketbook. It's intended so that my great-great-grandchild will not grow up into a same system and the same world that we're growing up in and dealing with right now. That's what reparations is supposed to be for. But if we just looking for a check and we have to, we're going to be fools in the end. And then people want to say, don't police what I do with my money. That's my reparations check. Don't believe it. No, that reparations check is for you, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. It's for our people. We were put in this condition as a collective. So to think that we getting out of this condition because they treating us as individuals, you know, that's another foolish mistake that we make. You know, our reparations without separation is like a glove without a hand. You know, they got to go hand in hand. We talked about that a little bit earlier about self-determination and doing for ourselves, and what happens if this system decides to cut us out. What are we going to do? And, you know, we're talking about separation, and reparation has to go with land. It's got to go with land. It's got to go with resources. Otherwise, a little $25,000 check ain't shit.
Hey, you know what's crazy though, right? Imagine being born like hundreds of years ago, and motherfucker tell you that we're gonna steal y'all, we're gonna come over there and steal y'all land, and we're gonna make some type of paper out of this tree, and we're gonna print our forefathers on this motherfucker and give it to you. And when you want your land back, we're gonna give you some goddamn paper. Hey, let me tell you this. Nobody controls the money. Not we don't, the people. We don't. We control the flow of it, yes. But we don't control, only thing we control is the flow and the value of it, for real. Like everything else is on them. Like, for an example, damn near every bank has a hand in crypto. I'm just using an example real quick. Every bank is so many businesses, like thousands of businesses, like there's so many businesses, big businesses too, that you shop with every day. They accept cryptocurrency. And I'm just using this for an example because this is what they doing. Like for what? Who knows? But I'm just saying what you're doing. You're trying to think about what this is what they're actually doing. Then they came out with a USD coin. Then they had a trial run with a Trump coin, and I think his wife or something had a coin too, whatever. His daughter, whatever. But this whole thing is about changing the power and value. Who's to say them folks won't give y'all ass crypto? I mean, you watch basketball and you see them every court got crypto.com or Coinbase or Robinhood. I mean, everything is in your face. So at any given moment, them folks can cut that switch. Click. And get what? Change the value into, because right now we on fiat. That's why the gold, I mean, the money we got is a reserve note, right? For debt. We on a debt. So what they doing with that is we in fiat, right? And from fiat we going to crypto means dead. Crypto means dead currency. So right now, that's the wave they on. They on the digital scale of currency where they can make a great supply. So at some point, right? At some point, these folks gonna be like, you gotta earn you some. This is how you gonna earn your money now. This is how you gonna earn your money now through crypto. A lot of people are ahead of the game.
That's the easy workaround. You know, we can demand what we want. We can demand precious minerals. We can demand silver. Our reparations need to be paid in silver or gold. Don't give us none of this worthless paper. You know, those are things that need to be on the table. Because you're right, that dollar, they can give us $1 today and it'll be worth nothing tomorrow. Matter of fact, it said that coming soon, you're going to see people using $100 bills to light their cigars. They'll be using $100 bills and light up their cigars. So yeah, the paper ain't gonna be worth nothing. We need to talk about precious minerals when we talk about reparation. And resources. You know, not looking for a little check.
Well, Black, that was my point for the question is because if you think about it, okay, is that if let's assume that we are due, and I'm not taking sides in this. Okay, what about all of the interest that money would have drawn from over 100 years? Where does that come from? Okay, then the inflation. Okay, all of that has to be accounted for. So that $25,000 check, that's not even a down payment on a house or anything now.
That's spit, and you can't spit on a seed to germinate.
like I said, it's fucked up, the thing. Now, let's just say somebody come beat your ass and take your house, like right now. Somebody walk out, beat your ass, took your shit. You gonna come back and ask for it back? You gotta think in terms like that. Years later, that nigga still, that is my shit. You want it back? You want it back, or you can buy something? You can buy it, or you want to rent it, or you can rent. Yeah, pay taxes on this motherfucker, or you can get it in blood. I know that might be sound too X-rated if y'all motherfucking ears, some of y'all ears, but that's the reality of certain shit. You sitting there thinking these motherfuckers coming up with a plan to give millions, countless, and you can't even count the ones that's on the street. You can't even count the ones that's not even counted for. You can't even account for the ones that's basically not even under the radar at all. I'm talking about they probably in the woods, they probably under the bridge. You know, these folks gonna probably, you can't. It's a very dangerous game. Okay, this shit is all about what you want. If you want something, you gotta fucking get it. Ain't nobody, we was all taught that for the most part, I'm hoping, that ain't nobody gonna give you shit, you gotta get up and get it, right? Some people wanted American, they got up and got it. Fuck, you think they folk finna give it back? No, you gonna play the game, this game of Monopoly they got going on, you gonna play some chess, or you gonna play checkers. This is a game of Monopoly. But at the end of the day, you know what? You want some shit, land, resources, for the thousands of years, them shit's been seized by war. People got this shit by going to war. Now, not saying that we gotta go, well, that's what I'm saying, but I'm just not saying that we have to team up and fight again. No, what I'm saying is anything like that is a reset. Because it's like John and Kathy living over there, and your ancestors probably was on that land. So it's gonna need some type of goddamn reset to reset some people and move them around. Cause you know what? How you go if you go deep and shit, people are living on land that's, you know, some of y'all ancestors, you know, land. And y'all don't even know it. So if you're gonna do it right, do it right. And if you can't understand that it's really hard for them to get it right because they so far gone and being fucked up in every situation, you should know what to do by now. You gotta take it to goddamn stuff. You gotta take matters in your own hand. Because guess what? They know you're gonna be satisfied with $1. So the only way they can get out that quick, only way they can get that type of money out quick and fast to millions of people is digital. Ding.
All right, where we at?
Everybody pretends to know the answer, and I really don't think that's the answer either. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we're living in some dangerous times, but right now, this is like, you're right. It's Monopoly and chess, right? But I don't think there's just one answer for it. I really don't. When people try to say it's just, this is the answer, this is the way to go. No, that may be part of the answer, but it's not the whole, that's not exactly what people need to do.
Are y'all talking about reparations?
That's not even part of the answer.
Yeah, it's not even a part of the answer. You're right, Black. Oh, God.
Reparations, keep in mind, 40 acres and a mule. We're talking about land and resources. We're not just talking about $1. 40 acres represents land. The mule represents resources. We don't need a mule today. Maybe we need factory equipment. Maybe we need tractors and trailers. But whatever it is, we're talking about land and resources. If you're just focusing on money, then you're gonna be fooled. That's the main thing. We're not trying to convert it to crypto. Maybe if they gave us crypto, it'd be better. You know, if you want to focus on that, then you need to focus on gold and silver. Not no crypto, something that's tangible.
Yeah. So I've never expressed, when it comes down to reparation, what I think, and this is going to be my first time ever expressing that as long as I've been on this app. I'm going to share it today. When I look at, I think the most honorable Elijah Muhammad had the best plan for any type of reparations if it's given to black people. Inside back page of the Final Call newspaper is what we want, what the Muslims want, and what the Muslims believe under what the Muslims want is where I think reparations. I think he had the best avenue for reparation if it's given. And he says that they should give us a whole state or territory in this America of our own. For those who want to come and be a part of that, you can come and be a part of that. And that state or territory should have access to the seas, right? And that they should supply us with all of our needs for at least 20 years or more. Whatever that need is for 20 years or more, if it's tractors, if it's whatever, to sustain our own. Carve out a whole state or territory and give it to black people and let us go from there. Because if you gave us money, we're going to give it back to you. You understand what I'm saying? Drugs, whether it's Cadillacs, whether it's whatever. But to give us our own state and territory, and if you want to come and be a part of that, we have enough land to say, hey, this portion is yours, this portion is yours, so forth. So let me ask this question. What state in America has at least, or could house at least, 50 million people? 50 million people. Do you think Texas can hold 50 million people in it?
Well, I've heard that every person on the planet can be fitted in Texas, so...
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. To give us carve out our own state of territory and supply us our needs for 20 years or more. That's, to me, the best form of reparations. And I agree with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. You'll find what he asked for in the inside back page of the Final Call newspaper. And if you had a serious conversation about what he is recommending, you'll come to find out through every point you look at it, it'll be the best one. Best one. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad's statement inside back page of the Final Call newspaper, what the Muslims want. That would be the best form of reparations America can give to black folks. To me. And it won't be no check. It won't be this, won't be that, because you niggas will fuck it up. You go out and you ain't gonna do nothing with it. 2-3 years, if we gave you $1 million, you'll be broke. Your mind ain't right. But if we can get you some land,
Las Vegas at the Cadillac dealer.
Hell yeah, Cadillac dealer, big boy, look at here. Ooh, the Cadillac dealer will be giving out discounts.
Have a Cadillac Gucci seat fitted.
Oh yeah, with orange paint on it. Yeah, the wigs, though, the Koreans couldn't keep wigs in their stuff. But if you gave them a house, land, and the opportunity to build and grow, whew. Hey, Speaker Gregory, assalamu alaikum, where you at? Come on up, I see you send an invite. Where Speaker Gregory at? There you go. Assalamu alaikum, Speaker Gregory, you in Detroit? Did you make it to Savior's Day?
Yep, I'm here back in Chicago.
Okay.
I was in New Orleans, then there, then back in Chicago, then headed back to the East Coast. But I was listening to you.
Oh yeah, I'm still.
It was beyond beautiful. It was divine, and you, and that's such a reality. Okay.
And your mic,
you know,
if you can hear me, your phone is going in and out. Speaker Greg,
okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Speaker Greg.
I'm right back.
Hello. Oh yeah, you can do something because your phone is acting up. If you can hear me. All right, guys, until they get right.
I agree with you. I think land Just give us land and leave us alone.
Yeah, give us some land, baby.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I say that was so beautiful. The Savior and what you really connects to and it's really, it's like sad that it's beyond this that we stuck in when the messenger said, that program on the back, he was, he know that by nature, black people, whether we label ourselves this, that, or the other, he was talking about all of us collectively. And there's no way out of this thing politically, and until we have our own, it's almost impossible. And do we continue to pass down generations of poverty, being under the control of the enemy, white people, the Caucasian, racism, white supremacy, and there's no way out of this. I mean, nature is gonna do what it does. I believe that the ships soon, when the minister make his departure, I strongly know, not believe, that something deep is going to happen. Man, it's going to take something so dramatic. Like, you could listen to all of the conversations on Clubhouse, and, you can hear the madness, whether we can agree to disagree, but nobody has a more solid plan than that was presented by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Not nobody. You can go to room after room and you can say what you want, but in truth, most of those who say negative, they say it in plain stupidity. So, but Gene, that was beautiful, and it's unfortunate that our people believe in a mystery God. They don't even know. So, it's sad that they embrace that program, and reparations is to repair the damage that was done, and it's very obvious there was a lot of damage because we so disunified with so much self-hatred, it's so much foolishness. And look at our families, look at our relationships, look how we can come in this room and beat the hell out of each other, never met in person, don't even know each other really. And I mean, we could be so violent, negative, pessimistic, and just straight up despicable when it comes to how we purport ourselves. But that's all. I don't have nothing else to say.
Right. I know a lot of people probably never read the final call in this room. A lot of people, I'm going to broaden that statement. A Clubhouse, I don't think a lot of people have ever been exposed to the inside back page of the Final Call newspaper. And for those who may not know what the Final Call is, you can see brothers in the Nation of Islam, myself and many others around this country on the corner that we'll be selling those, the bean pies, that paper we'll be holding up. Family, listen to your little brother right now. That's a very powerful newspaper, man. It's different from anything you're going to see or read on the news or hear on the news. That newspaper is the baddest goddamn thing on this planet that I have ever seen. Y'all need to get that paper one day. If you see a brother out there, just stop. Take my advice, man. Just ride up, pull up, do whatever. Get a brother $2, $3, $20. Give him $20 for the damn paper. You're going to be worth it. Sit down and read it. Read that paper. Just flip through it. And just whatever catches your attention, whatever title, just read the article. It's only going to take 5 minutes to read these articles. And I guarantee you'll see a different perspective on what is being disseminated and offered to you for your reading experience. That's a bad motherfucking paper, bro. Excuse my expression. Just gotta put a little sauce on it. Okay.
Well, you said it like they said with Sheriff. He's a bad mother changer.
Damn right. That paper is powerful, family. Just do it one time for me, or do it just one time in your life. Some of y'all never read it, never heard about it, don't even know it. But trust me, try it one time before you leave this earth. Just try it and come back and say, hey, Eugene, you know what? You were right. That's what you're gonna tell me. You're gonna say you're right. It's a powerful paper. The information in it, the exposure to the information. You know, and I'm gonna share this with, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You know why these titles that I make in this room, 90% of the titles that I make come from that newspaper. 90% of the stuff that I bring is inspired by what I read and comes from that newspaper. That's my secret and key to this 40 acres and a mule. Yeah.
You know, I'm really happy that you are humble enough to share this room with folks of different philosophies or ideologies and backgrounds and labels and how they, you know, even in terms of their religion expressions, and that takes courage and it takes love, you know, where it's not just so dogmatic, you know, where, you know, you're forcing people. I'm much older than most in this room, and I share my energy and spirit like I did in Hocus room, and it was another room, and I come in this room because it's probably the most sane room, you know, in this what's left of Clubhouse. So I think it's a good thing. Anybody that's listening to those suggestions of reading, I mean, you don't really just don't take long. I mean, you gonna latch on to whatever you latch on to in terms of where you draw your information or however you exist in this crazy world right now. But just consider it. And then if you're not the one, pass it on to some young people and just tell them to read it. And if it's some you know, give them a little quiz, read something and ask them that they know about, because there's articles in the Final Call that you won't find in your local newspapers or here on the propaganda controlled corporate media. So, but check it out, you know, you'll find a lot of interesting women. There are a lot of articles that uplift black women, period, but a lot. So accept your own and be yourself for a change.
Hey, I'm gonna switch gears and jump a whole nother topic, because I was kind of looking, as Speaker Gregory was talking, kind of looking through some of the stuff that I found a day or so ago, and I sent it to myself to remind me to bring it up. Tucker Carlson, that boy there, that Tucker Carlson he's a little different, don't y'all think? That boy, him and Jasmine Crockett, they out there a little bit. Tucker Carlson is talking about the government lies and conspiracy theories, 9/11. He's been on Israel a lot. Have y'all noticed that?
You just get arrested in Israel?
That boy is going in deep on them folks over there. Right? So how many of y'all know this? I'll tell you what, that 9/11 thing, let me find this clip here. And he brought up something that I knew, but didn't know the in-depthness of it. Well, he brought up something I believe, based on the information I have been provided. I subscribe to what was said about 9/11, but he brought up something that was a little more interesting and fascinating. Here it is.
How many boots on the ground has the U.S. placed on behalf of Israel? However many went to Iraq, we did that for Israel. No, I don't think we did. I said we did it because of 9/11. The U.S. government told us it was for 9/11. They knew they didn't have 9/11, obviously. There's no evidence. Israel was not in that component. And some of the people who made the decision say, Israel. Well, let me get back to the point. Give us that information about the fake weapons of mass destruction. What do you think the question was from BP? How many Americans put their boots on the ground for Israel? The answer is 0. Everybody who served in Iraq, that's put their boots on the ground. They were certainly not. Where did we get the information about the weapons of mass destruction? That wasn't real. We didn't get that from. You're saying we got that from Israel? Well, absolutely. You really believe that? I know that for a fact. As soon as yes, this has been widely written about and discussed. And I'm not attacking Israel. Like, they thought it was in their interest. I met the Bush administration and all the people who went along with this to the detriment of my country.
So he was having a conversation with this boy, I think of his name, about 9/11. Every war that America has protected in was behind what Israel supplied. And everything. According to this Tucker Carlson boy, let me play another one.
With this, Abraham's descendants are the ones who have the right to have this land, correct? Yes. Okay. Why don't we do genetic testing on everybody in the land and find out who Abraham's descendants are? It's really simple. We've cracked the human genome. We can do that. Why don't we do that? Would you be against doing that? I have no idea what that would prove. I mean, maybe it would be, it would prove who Abraham's descendants are and who has a right to live here and who doesn't, according to the theology that you yourself just explained. And so I'm very confused as to why we don't do that. If you believe the theology that you just explained to me, would we do that all over the world? And everybody is the only country in the world that you've said has this covenant with God, that this people have a moral and legal right to the land. But there are people who may not have bloodlines, but who have converted to Judaism. Are they going to be able to live here? Are you going to kick them out? By your standards, they can't live here. No. They have a right to live here because God gave them the land because they're the descendants of Abraham. They're the descendants of Abraham, but if they're the spiritual descendants of Abraham and they've now decided that they're converting to Judaism, then do they have a right to live in Israel? Since you began this conversation by asking me, did I think they had a right to come here? Yeah. And my question was, on what basis do they have the right? And you said because God granted it to God. And I also said because that there should be a land where Jews could live in peace and safety. Yes, because and I asked you what a Jew was and you couldn't answer it. You said, it's religious, but it doesn't have to be. It's partly genetic, but it doesn't have to be. And so that you can see why I think that was very quick. Baby's family, we know they lived in Eastern Europe. There's no evidence they ever lived here. He's not religious. And it's really, and so really, do we move his family tree now? We know you. He doesn't. So no one does. That's the point. So how do you know that he's anything or at all? And if there has been a practice of Judaism and a connection to the language, the Bible, the land, his ancestors didn't. He doesn't practice Judaism in any rigorous way. His ancestors didn't live here. They didn't speak the language, and there's no evidence they ever lived here. So in the territory that Israel controls today, the West Bank, who, through genetic testing, know their families have been here for thousands of years. We don't know whether they practiced Judaism, whether they were Samaritans, pre-Islam. We don't know that. A lot of them we know have been Christians for 2,000 years. They have less of a right to the land than someone whose ancestors, the only thing we know about them is they lived in Latvia, Poland, they're Eastern European. How does that work?
Carson been going in on him. That boy been going in on him pretty hard. I think I got maybe one more. Check this one out. Can I entertain y'all? Are y'all cool with me playing this? Y'all cool with that or y'all scared?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So oh man, you should hear what Jeffrey Epstein had to say about Bill Clinton. God damn. Oh, Candace Owen. And was she talking about Prince? And I got a clip. I got some clips. Here we go. Christian persecution in Israel. Tucker Carlson.
Good evening. From where I'm standing right now, I can see all around me in a ring 7 Christian churches. I'm not going to pan to see them. You can see one behind me. They're all on the ridges of this valley around me. We are about 100 yards from the River Jordan and about 150 yards from the spot where Jesus, the Christian Savior, God on earth, was baptized by John the Baptist, famously the beginning of his ministry and beginning, really, of the gospel. John the Baptist lived famously in the wilderness, eating locusts and honey. That was right here. We are in the Holy Land, but on the political map, we're in an overwhelmingly Muslim country, a monarchy called Jordan. And that's significant, particularly now, because the question of how Christians are treated in the Holy Land is a political question. And it is because much of what happens in this region is funded by the United States, by its taxpayers, military action, but also the cultural and religious life of the region is funded to a great extent by American Christian churches. And so the question that we've asked for some time now is, what's the outcome? How are Christians in the Holy Land doing? Are they thriving or are they suffering? And the truth has become pretty obvious over the past couple of years, which is in Israel, they are not thriving. Their numbers are not growing. They are shrinking. And there's a huge debate about why. But the bottom line is there are fewer Christians now, far fewer in absolute numbers and particularly as a percentage of population than there were when the state was founded in 1948. And there's a lot of evidence in the last couple of years, particularly since the Gaza war started, and the whole tone of the conversation in this area has changed quite a bit, and the rise of extremism, very noticeable, that those numbers have gotten even smaller. And in Jerusalem, if you follow this at all on the internet, you see video clip after video clip of Christian clergy being spit at by religious extremists, not Muslim religious extremists, but Jewish religious extremists. And that's something most Americans didn't know happened, didn't think could happen, particularly since the United States, the most important Christian country in the world, is funding this. And anyone who's raised this question, the show has done that, has been dismissed out of hand as a liar or an anti-Semite or, best of all, a secret jihadi, a secret Muslim. You must be a Muslim. And so we thought it'd be worth coming here to find out what the truth is, or at least getting closer to the truth being pretty elusive usually in political terms, but why not go ahead and talk to people? Why not go ahead and talk to Christians and find out their side of the story? Why are Christian churches doing this? Why aren't American Christian leaders like Mike Huckabee or Ted Cruz, people who invoke the Christian Bible to justify what they're doing, why haven't they done this? We can only guess, but they haven't. They have funded the other side. So we thought, let's talk to them. So we are about to play interviews that we just did about 5 minutes ago with 2 Christians from this area. One was born in Israel, one was born in Jordan. The one born in Israel was born, in fact, in Jesus' hometown of Nazareth. His father was literally a carpenter, which is kind of hilarious. He is now the Anglican Archbishop of Jerusalem, which is to say he's the representative of the Anglican Church, the global Anglican Church in Jerusalem. Whatever you think of the Anglican Church, it's not a small thing, and this is a very well-informed person, and you can judge for yourself whether he's telling the truth or not. Our view is he absolutely is telling the truth. And the story that he's going to tell you in just a minute is pretty shocking if you're a Western Christian, because it's a story of Christians being oppressed in Jerusalem by a government that American Christians pay for. And the second person we're going to speak to is a businessman who runs a bank here in Jordan from a very prominent Christian family. And if you're an American, you may be surprised to learn that in Jordan, a country that's probably 97% Muslim, Christians who've been here for, of course, 2,000 years are disproportionately represented at the higher end of the economy, which is to say there's a large number of Christian families who are hugely successful in Jordan and have been for a long time, since the creation of the state about 100 years ago. That's not something you're going to see on CNN. How would Christians thrive in a Muslim country? And we're not experts on this, of course, being not that well versed in Islam, but we thought it'd be worth talking to a sincere Christian whose family's been here for 2,000 years and ask, how did that happen? And what does it tell us about our understanding of what's actually happening in the Holy Land, in Jordan, the West Bank, and Israel, which again is right there. We are 25 miles from Jerusalem. And so with that, keep an open mind, listen carefully to what sincere Christians in this area have to say about what's happening here. And you may find a story that shocks you. Archbishop, thank you. You live in Jerusalem, but we're on the other side. We're about 100 yards from Israel, across the West Bank, across the Jordan. How are Christians doing in the Holy Land?
Christians in the Holy Land, of course, have been here for 2,000 years.
Yes.
And over the history, the Christian community has thrived in phases, like declined in others, but I think now we are on the declining end of our Christian presence in the Holy Land. In general, we still living our faith, witnessing to our communities, and also trying to kind of maintain our presence. And I'm sorry to say that, because maintenance is not on the good side of things.
No, it's not growth.
Yeah, it's not growth, it's not thriving, it's not accomplishing and achieving. We are custodians of the Christian faith, and Jerusalem is the capital of our faith. It's our spiritual capital as Christians. But to see the declining numbers of Christians over the decades, and especially since 48 and 67, we have seen challenging phases of Christians facing realities that we were not used to before.
So, 1948 was the year that the political state of Israel was created.
That's correct.
And a huge percentage of the Arab population was expelled that year. 1967, the Six-Day War increased the territory of the state. The majority is now called occupied territory. Were there big declines after both of those in the Christian population?
Absolutely. So you can think about, the Christian population dwindling to half in 48, because many people had to leave what is my homeland, where I grew in Nazareth, yes, in Galilee. Half of the Palestinian population had to be expelled to other places, and who became refugees. So when we speak about Palestinian refugees today, they are all coming or came from what is called Israel today.
What I think most Americans don't understand is that some large number of those refugees who were expelled by force from their land were Christian.
Yeah, there are many Christians, absolutely. Let me tell you something. Our congregation in Beirut, All Saints, is 90%, they come from Haifa, Akko, Nazareth, and other places around Galilee. 90% of the Anglican community in Beirut are Palestinian Christians who come from Galilee.
Getting older can make you realize you don't actually want all the things you have. That's why mini storage is so big. Consumerism kind of loses its appeal. What you really want is
advertising is so greedy.
What's the best way to get that? Well, keeping your home and family protected remains at the top of the list. Enter Simply Safe. This month, you get a 50% discount on your first Simply Safe system. Simply Safe takes a much better approach to home security. The idea is we stop people, invaders, before they come into the house. Not just trying to scare the ones that are already inside your house. And they do that with cameras backed by live agents who keep watch over your property. If someone's lurking outside, they will tell the person.
For you Christians,
and then they'll call the police if they don't.
better listen
60 days
to what you're saying.
So
they gotta tell them what. Tell them what, say, what time they catch Jesus, they should boil him in some shit, some excrement.
System of
this is their belief. When it comes down to your Bible company. So, I don't know.
Safe.com/Tucker. There is no safe like Simply Safe. So in the United States, as you may or may not know, Palestinian is a synonym, is the same word for Islamic terrorist. When people in the American media say Palestinian, it means someone who's an Islamist, basically. But you're saying that a lot of those Palestinians, refugees, were Christians, Anglicans, even.
Absolutely. I think there are many places in the world where people can use words that mean something really horrific. Yes, but I think that's demonizing. For me, that's demonizing. Well, it sounds also untrue. Absolutely, because like I think when you speak about Palestinians, I'm Palestinian. Yeah, I'm an archbishop. So I look to you like he was like an act like it actually. Yeah, so I think like this is like a kind of killing the image of the Palestinian people by claiming that they are terrorists or they are uncivilized or they are savages or I think this is exactly like just pushing an agenda where they just want to frame you so that Palestinians lose sympathy in the world. That's basically what it is. Striking to me is that narrative, that image is being pushed not just by Jewish supporters of Israel, but in the United States, heavily by Christian supporters of Israel. Christian supporters of Israel in the U.S. are dismissing their brother Christians in this region as terrorists. And I totally agree. There are lots of agendas, and especially Christians around the world, who think that they are doing favor to the Jewish people. Yes. And I have really kind of two full answers to that. The first one is about Jews themselves. As we know, there are many Jewish people of faith, who see in these groups also as people who really don't work for their interest. We know what dispensation, and the teachers get that one. Dispensationalism, maybe? We know what dispensationalism is about. I know that politicians around the world, and especially the colonial thinking of bringing the Jewish people to the Holy Land or to the land of Israel, is something that can really kind of fit both agendas. But actually, and we have heard this time and time again from many Jewish people who say that this agenda eventually, for all the Jewish people coming to their homelands, becomes again kind of like a trap, because they're all supposed to convert to Christianity or die, right? So for them, this is an offense. That thinking, yes, Zionist Christian thinking, and some narratives would be damaging even to Jewish people, yes, and Jewish faith. Now, for us as Christians, of course, it's damaging because think about let me tell you a story, a real story. I once was in a kind of a community visiting England, and I was speaking about how some Christians who have a Zionist approach to the whole politics and agendas, can be damaging to us as Christians in the Holy Land. And they say, how come? I said, because this agenda of money coming from the West, sometimes, they enable people, settlers, to confiscate my own land. We have lots of examples in Bethlehem where money that comes from around the world is invested in building settlements on Christian land. What the answer was? They told me sometimes we need to make a sacrifice for a better good, a greater good. Can you imagine that? So Christians told you this? Yeah, Christian. Somebody told me this, and I had a youth group with me. I'm telling you, they were in tears. They were in tears. How can a Christian brother or sister around the world take me as kind of means, no matter what happens to me? How can I really reconcile myself with this? So from this story, I'm telling you that these views sometimes are damaging because they are exclusive. I'm not judging Christian Zionists for their beliefs. They can believe what they want to believe. But when it comes to excluding Palestinians, whether they are Christian or Muslim, right? I think this is where my problem lies in their ideology, if you know what I mean. It doesn't sound, I think we can say that Christianity does not support violence. Of course not, right? Of course, we condemn violence, whatever it is. And I think Jesus is pretty clear on that. Absolutely. Could not be clearer. So for a Christian to say, I support violence against other Christians because that's what Jesus wants, does that strike you as valid? How can that be? Indeed, and this is why, we always say that, Christianity is about bringing people together. It's about forgiveness, reconciliation, peace building, because these are the values, the kind of the core values of Christianity. And if we fail as Christians to do that, to bring people together, we are God's people, we are God's children, whoever we may be. Yes, we have our beliefs, we have where we stand, but we as Christians, we know that, and we have been saying this all along. For 2,000 years, Christians have been witnessing to this truth from the beginning. And you know what? That's why we continue to exist here. Despite, like the long history, our holy sites is our anchor here in this place.
So you are a Christian from Nazareth?
Yes.
Jesus' hometown?
Yes.
What did your father do?
No, my dad was a carpenter.
I knew that. I just wanted to hear you say it. So
no, but we were also like we are fishermen. So if you ask me what do you do for a hobby, that would be like fishing would be my
amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's just you are a Christian from Nazareth in Galilee. Amazing. Compare Nazareth, its Christian population, to your childhood to now. Are there more Christians in Nazareth now or fewer?
No, they are. If there are fewer, let me say like 50 years ago, I think that they have not grown. Yes, especially recently, like in the last maybe 2 decades, we have seen like an exodus of Christians even from Nazareth and Galilee in general, due to many reasons. Yes, we are talking now what is proper Israel today. Now, in the West Bank is a different story because, of the occupation, there is another narrative there.
Yes.
But inside Israel, today there are so many pressures, not only on Christians, or even some Jewish people who are also leaving the country. Yes, for different reasons.
Yes, Nancy. How much aid, how much money do Christians around the world send to Christians living in Nazareth?
Very minimal.
Very minimal?
Yeah.
How, really?
The Anglican Church, of course, we have partners around the world.
Yes.
And especially like in the States, we have the American Friends of the Diocese of Jerusalem, Anglican. And they're doing fantastic support. But if you kind of compare the amount of money that comes to the outside, we are talking about a drop in the ocean.
Really? Christian churches in the United States send more money to, say, Jewish settlements in the West Bank than they do to Christians in Jesus' hometown of Nazareth.
That's not a secret. That's not a secret. Everybody knows that. Yeah. What about Bethlehem? Bethlehem is a different challenge there. I don't know if you have visited Bethlehem before, but you would see that the city is surrounded by the wall. The separation wall that separates, East Jerusalem from Bethlehem, and the occupation and the kind of the wall that separates the two countries now, and also huge measures of restrictions, of movements, and all of that is causing many people to leave the country. And now, I think, imagine that 100,000 Christians in Bethlehem, let's say 50 years ago or so. Today we have less than 30,000.
Really?
Yeah, huge drop.
Do they receive aid from American Christian churches?
Not to my knowledge. They might receive like projects here and there, but like substantial money to keep their businesses. I just want you to go now, especially during the war, the Gaza war, in the last 2 years. Go to Bethlehem and see what is happening.
I don't think I could.
The little town of Bethlehem is bleeding right now. There's no business, no tourists, no visitors.
I don't understand. So the American Christian churches, broadly speaking, the church, Christians in the United States, is by far the richest in the world and the biggest. And why wouldn't they send help to Christians in the town where Jesus was born and the town that he grew up?
I'm sure that people may have different answers, but I think my answer would be the big answer would be, which could be shocking for some people. That is that they would be concerned that they send the money and it ends up in the hands of the wrong people. Let's be honest about this.
Well, let's just say, and I think that's a concern for everybody giving money to charity. It's certainly a concern for me in general.
Yeah.
if there's a church, the Church of the Nativity, the one that the IDF shot people in, I've been there, and it's kind of falling apart. And I remember thinking, where are the Christians around the world to support the Church of the Nativity on the site where Jesus, their Savior, was born?
And that's why,
I just don't understand that.
I don't understand that either. But let me tell you something that, an example, like how charity starts at home. We know that our king here in Jordan, King Abdullah, has donated substantial amount of money to the repair of the Nativity and the Holy Sepulchre. And the same thing happened also with the Palestinian Authority. And also there are money that came also from partners from Europe and other places as well. But, the amount of money, as you said, and the charity that you think that could be given to the Christian community to enforce and maintain its presence in the Holy Land, you can see that in ways that you could imagine, that sisters and brothers in Christ, siblings in Christ around the world would be giving to their church.
When we started this company, we promised that we would only partner with other companies that share our values. We didn't want to advertise products made by people who hate us, or for that matter, you. So with that in mind, it is a pleasure to announce that we're working with Charity Mobile. It is a pro-life.
Hey, so do y'all want to continue along the line of listening to this conversation with Carson Tucker and this dude? If not, we can transition and do something else. No? Okay. Let's go. Let's go to something else then. I think it's highly interesting, this interview, coming to find out, man, these people, boy, what's up, Crisis? These people are rough, man.
What up, y'all? Peace and love to this. Hey, man, look, I just want to say real quick, I understand.
Yeah, you can understand why he felt the way he felt. Listen to what Epstein had to say about Bill Clinton.
Hey, what really happened, the real enemy of the finance system was Bill Clinton. And if you ask me what and who caused the financial crisis, I would tell you it was Bill Clinton.
Because of what Bob Rubin and he did to deregulate the financial system?
No. Because the last time we had our 60-minute interview, you talked to me about home ownership. And you asked me whether everyone should own a home. And I told you no, it's too risky.
So the financial collapse of 2008 is because of hardworking Americans, Hispanics, and whites who wanted to have an ownership stake in society that all rests on their shoulders. They're the culprits.
No, not at all.
Okay, then
I didn't say they were the culprits. I was pretty clear it was Bill Clinton.
Wow. You can't make some of this shit up. All right, who wants the mic, man? Because I keep going through some of this stuff with regard to this Tucker Carlson. He gets me with it. Anybody wants the mic? Who wants the mic? Who want to make a statement?
Hey, peace, brother Eugene. What's going on, my brother? Have y'all talked about aliens today? I don't know if y'all talked about that or
no. If they did, I wasn't around.
Hey, I had played a video I had Sister Erica play a little short clip from Representative Tim Burkett. I think it was like 2 days ago. He's a representative for Tennessee, an active representative in Congress. And he, one of the reporters walked up on him, and he basically admitted that aliens are real. Because I don't know if you heard, but Trump, he's supposed to, in a couple of weeks, he's supposed to do a disclosure about what he got on he got on the files America got on aliens. After Obama, he came out on his interview admitting that aliens are real. So I don't know if you want to go that route, but I got a little short YouTube short video. It's about like 20 seconds.
Why not? 20 seconds? Just 20?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna send it to your back channel right now, bro.
20 seconds, put it in the chat. I can get it better out of the chat.
Copy.
I just got a notification that my damn flight is gonna be delayed. Hey, what up, Crisis? Go ahead. What were you saying?
Video. They hasn't even gotten to the good part yet.
I know, right?
Clear video.
It's so much to unpack in it, man. And when it gets down to it, you're gonna be surprised. You will be.
Keep playing it then.
Keep playing it.
Let me see how she looks.
You remember the story? You remember the story, Eugene? We can run down the hill and get a couple, or we can walk down the hill, we can get more.
Yeah, that's the bull and the daddy. You remember that, huh? All right.
Pleasure to announce we're working with Charity Mobile. It is a pro-life phone company. Charity Mobile holds a view on abortion that almost every single major U.S. company disagrees with. I think it's completely wrong. It is sad.
It takes a little bit before it gets to the end of his advertisement. But man, I'm telling you, I got you. Okay, so Conquest, you got one, and Audrey, you got one as well. Super cool album. If y'all hang around a little longer, let's get through this one and Conquest, and I'm gonna play Audrey's video next. But I think this is gonna be interesting. Like Crisis did say it. It's gonna get real deep.
/Tucker used
real deep.
Free activation, free shipping, and a free gift with every new line of service. So I think Americans watching this may be confused to hear that a Muslim king of Jordan, is giving money to Christian holy sites in Israel and the West Bank. Yeah. Tell us how that.
Now, did you hear that? A Muslim king is giving money to Christian churches. Now, that ain't a shocker to you? Oh, Muslims are hated. They are terrorists. They hate Christians. Muslims are. And here it is, Christian churches is funding Israel, while Israel is turning around Crisis and killing Christians. This shit is wild. Where we at right now with this guy?
The Muslims who took over Jerusalem before Saladin destroyed everything. But when Saladin came, he did not destroy everything. And he specifically said, I am not those Muslims.
That's right. Go ahead. And guess what? And I told these damn people in Port Acres and the Mule. I done told them over and over and over. Those damn Muslims, royal families, are hijackers. They are what you call supplanters. They are Jews. They are white folks. And they come from Caucasus Mountains. I kept telling them over and over. The real Jews, the real Muslims are jet fucking black. They are black-skinned people. These damn people that's running around calling themselves Muslim over there in the East that got all the power and all the control, they are Jews. That's why Crisis said what he just said. I am not those Muslims. Well, what kind of Muslims are them? Good question, right?
Israel and the West Bank. Yeah. Tell us how that arrangement works. Why would that be a Muslim king's responsibility?
Yeah, so there's something here in the Holy Land has been for a long time, what we call the status quo, or the existing reality, especially on holy sites. On Haram Sharif, many people in the West call it Temple Mount, and also in the Holy Sepulchre, and the holy sites in Jerusalem.
The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the place where Jesus' tomb.
Yeah, which is the Church of the Resurrection, what we call in Arabic as well. For a long time, the King of Jordan, under the Hashemite custodianship of holy sites, The king personally is the custodian of holy sites of Christian and Muslim holy sites in Jerusalem. So the king of Jordan is the custodian of both Al-Aqsa Mosque, yes, and of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. That's correct. And that remains the case today. That remains the case today, and it will remain for a long time. Even though it's extremely difficult for Jordanians to go the 25 miles over there to Jerusalem. And that's correct.
Now, what did they want Trump to do? Anybody remember? To change it? Well, come on, put your thinking caps on now. Don't leave me. He wanted to do what? Rename and move what? Oh man, y'all ain't got y'all head in the game. Let me continue this. Y'all stay still.
Are you talking about the embassy or your?
What did Trump do that no other president refused to do? Rename and move.
Capital. The internal capital. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little something to chew on for you baby Bible babblers. Right? Every picture they show you of Jesus and mama, they always show you look like what? Don't she look like a Muslim woman with her head covered in long dresses and stuff? Y'all notice that? Every picture they paint, they show you his mama dressed up like the Muslims over there in the East. Don't it? Think about that for a minute. Jesus Christ. Right. Jesus Christ, the figure, the one that y'all worship. Y'all worshiping and honoring a Muslim man. I'm going to say it again. That same Jesus that y'all running around here. Oh, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Oh, yeah, the name of Jesus. And y'all Bible thumping, church going, music thumping. Christians over here in the West, y'all got all these big old churches. Y'all got the church choir singing. Y'all got the preacher, he running all up and down. Y'all Christian people. You're getting the truth right now. I know it hurt. It's going to hurt you. But you was running around here. Y'all don't even know what the hell y'all worshiping. Y'all don't know the truth. Man, this shit gets me. Let me go ahead.
Jerusalem. And that's correct. So I think, like people like myself and the heads of churches, yes, as well as Al-Qubaf and the sheikhs in Jerusalem, we will be the manifestation of that reality, of that custodianship.
It's just so interesting. Why does that persist today? And is that a good arrangement, the status quo that you described?
Of course, it is. It's not only good, but I think for us, it saves the character of Jerusalem, where the three faiths of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam can exist side by side without any problems.
Would it be easier just to hand the custodianship over to the government that runs it, which is the Israeli government? Its political capitals in Jerusalem?
That would be partial, and it would be exclusive.
How do you think Christian holy sites would do, and Muslim holy sites would do?
We have. Let me give you an example where, like the Holy Sepulchre, for different reasons, we, for a long time, during Holy Saturday, which is the Holy Fire, one of the most sacred days in the Christian calendar.
Yes.
Of course, this is the night before Easter.
Yes.
The restrictions that the police there enforce on pilgrims is unprecedented. It's something that, we always please, let the pilgrims come and enjoy.
Now this is happening?
Yeah, this is happening every year now, yes, of course. Last year,
the Israeli government is preventing Christians from celebrating Easter in Jerusalem.
Yes, they are preventing Christians and pilgrims from celebrating Easter, and the claim is, according to the police there, for safety reasons. But we're telling them, for almost the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was built in 300 something. Okay, that's 1700 years ago. And we have always, celebrated the Holy Fire. We always celebrated and welcome Easter. the identity of somebody get banned or that somebody got their relationship abused or not. Yeah, indeed. And then, but now under the kind of Israeli law for safety procedures, they are restricting the number of Christians going into the Holy Sepulchre. Instead of 10,000, they are restricting that sometimes to 1,500. And by negotiation, you can get them close to like 3,000. This is by miracle, if you're lucky. Again, for them, to be fair, they're saying that for safety reasons, we're not allowing people in. And this is the discussion every year.
Are there similar restrictions on Jewish religions observances in Jerusalem?
In Israel, generally, there are being some. There's been an incident in the north, in Maroon, where people, like Hasidic community, were celebrating a very famous holy site.
Yes.
And the bridge collapsed, and 150 people died.
Oof.
And since that time, they were restricting more and more public worship. And I will tell you an incident as well, like where on the Mount of Tabor, which is the Transfiguration Mountain, that's the Holy Orthodox, the Orthodox Church celebrates every year. Also, there have been restrictions there because of safety, not to allow pilgrims to go to the Holy Mountain for the celebration of Transfiguration. This is the 4th year in a row that they're not allowed to pilgrims to go up for the celebration. Again, under restrictions.
Have there been?
Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to read this real quick. So what he's referring to is a practice that has been happening in Israel. It's the spitting on of Christians by ultra-Orthodox Jews. In recent years, there have been documented incidents of Orthodox Jews, extremists, spitting on Christian clergy in Jerusalem's Old City, especially in the Armenian and Greek Orthodox priests' quarters. It's not widespread across all of Israeli society, but it has happened enough to become a diplomatic and social issue. Most incidents have occurred in areas like the Christian Quarter, near the Armenian Quarter in Jerusalem. Why does it happen? The behavior comes from a fringe within the Orthodox community who view Christianity as a historically oppressive or theologically offensive sect. Some of the hostilities are rooted in medieval era Jewish persecution by Christians or deep theological rejection of Christianity. What that usually means is followers of the Talmud. Because followers of the Talmud are the ones who Eugene was referring to earlier when he said that they believe that Jesus is existing in excrement in hell. I just wanted to bring that to your table.
Super cool. Anybody would like to speak on what Tucker Carlson's interview is saying? Anybody else? No. We may put some people to sleep. Michelle, you in crisis. Y'all want to continue, or y'all want to move on to some more clips with regards to you? I tell you what, let's speed it up a little bit. Let's go over halfway. That way, we won't take up the entirety of people's attention. A lot of people, they were like gauging. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit.
In your lifetime?
Let's go a little bit over halfway.
For doing this. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you was even I was amazed to discover how many truly prominent Christian families there are in Jordan. A lot, and you're from one of the most prominent. What's it like to be a Christian in an overwhelmingly Muslim country here?
Well, Christians here in Jordan have always felt, really one and the same with the Muslims in Jordan. And it goes back thousands of years, really. So it's always felt like we're really one and the same. Islam is very much an integral part of our culture as Christians here. Yeah, we feel very comfortable.
As Christians here?
As Christians, absolutely.
So you went to school, a number of very prominent schools in the United States. You spent a lot of time living in the U.S., so you know that most Americans are going to be surprised to hear that.
Oh, of course. I mean, a lot of my American friends, when I first met them, they were surprised that I'm Christian from Jordan. And like, what do you mean? I mean, this is where Christianity started, right? We are the ancient Christians. Yes. It's a bit upsetting for me. Jesus was baptized right there. Right here. I mean, this is a very special place, the baptism site. It's very close to our hearts as Christians, not just here, but all over the world. And I can say a little bit something about this site because we're here. Well, yeah. So this baptism site. I mean, what most Christians around the world maybe sometimes forget is here we have the clearest manifestation in the Bible of the Holy Trinity. Right here, where you and I are today. If you remember the Bible, the voice of God. Yes. And he said, this is when Jesus is being baptized by St. John. This is my son of whom I am well pleased. Yes. And then the Son, right? The Holy Spirit in the saints descends in the shape of a dove. This happened here. Christ's official mission, right, started in Jordan. So you can actually make the claim. This is not, this is a biblical theological claim that the mission of Christianity, salvation history, started right here. So of course there are Christians in Jordan. And it's just a very special place to be. I hope you've had some time to. I've had an amazing time. I've been to this country before, and I've always felt comfortable here. And if you say that in the West, people are either incredulous or they accuse you of being a secret Muslim or jihadi or something, which I'm not at all. But I'm really struck that you said Islam is an integral part of the culture for Christians here. What does that mean? Well, look, it's the faith traditions are so similar. It's remarkable. I mean, if you look at the Quran, for example, the Quran Jesus was mentioned 25 plus times in the Quran, and he was mentioned under different words, different names. So Isa is what his name is in Arabic. The Word of God. That's actually from the Quran, the Messiah, the Masih. That's also Ibn Maryam, son of Maryam. The other thing that you might find interesting is also the Virgin Mary, right? I mean, she was mentioned 30 plus times in the Quran. She's revered, right? Actually, she was the only woman whose name was actually mentioned in the Quran. No other name of a woman has been here. I mean, there was really, absolutely. Maryam is the only name that's named by name in the Quran as a woman. As the mother of Jesus. As the mother of Jesus. There is a whole chapter in the Quran just dedicated for the Virgin Mary. So you can see, and of course the same prophets, like many of the same prophets, whether it's Elijah or Moses or Abraham or Aaron, they're in the Quran, as they are in the New Testament and the Old Testament. So the faith traditions are very similar. So that's why the Muslims are actually very accepting of the Christian faith traditions. They are encompassing of the Christian faith traditions. So yeah, I mean, you're saying this as a Christian. I'm saying this as a Christian here in Jordan. Absolutely. I'm at a disadvantage because I have not read the Quran. I'll just say that. But we have been taught for 25 years since 9/11 that Islam is inherently hostile to Christianity. But you don't believe? I totally disagree with that. I think hostility is a human thing. Yes. You find humans on all sides of the spectrum that are, compassionate or hostile. That's a common thing across humanity, across the world. But to demonize one religion and to say everyone in that religion is hostile is an atrocity, Tucker. It's absolutely not true. I agree with that. Did you experience discrimination growing up here as a Christian? Never. I've never felt discriminated against as a Christian. Of course, there's people that don't sometimes understand Christian religious tradition, and there are sometimes questions, and there are sometimes theological, of course, differences, and you can have a discussion about that and argue about that, right? But discrimination in terms of I feel a disadvantage to being Christian here? Absolutely not. So your family, I think I understand this, is at the level of prominence that you're going to have to deal with the government at a certain point. Yeah, okay. Of course, yeah. This is a small country, it's a monarchy. You've never had any problems dealing with the government as a Christian? No, actually, that's a great question. So Christians are very well represented here, as you can imagine. They're really part of the social fabric of the economy and the political environment. So Christians are represented, in the Senate, in Parliament, in government, in the military, and the private sector. Even though we are a minority, right? But the representation is everywhere. You're a tiny minority, right? We are like probably 2-3% at this stage. I'm just guessing, but it seems like if you're 2 or 3% of the population, you seem disproportionately represented among the affluent. Possibly, I think maybe minorities everywhere around the world, that's the case. Yes, it is. Actually, that is true. That's right. But I don't know. I've never read that. I don't know if there are statistics. But that's a little bit of a problem, I guess, because you do see minority groups around the world, as you said. The Indians in Uganda in the 70s, or name a group, but the minority group often is disproportionately successful, and then they are persecuted for that, right? And that has not happened here. No, absolutely not. And that's the reason I think it's why it is. I'll tell you, I was thinking about sort of why is Jordan a special sort of model for that, right? Of coexistence, of interfaith harmony. I think there's 3 things, Tucker. These 3 things are there. Christian minorities, the Holy Land, they will thrive.
All right. I'm gonna stop it. I know I'm putting a lot of you guys to sleep. But the basis and the principles of what you're hearing is uncovering a lot of the lies, myths, half-truths about Muslims, Islam, and Christianity. Only in the Western world, controlled by Jewish Zionists, that black people are more gullible towards Islam than white people are. I know it. Y'all don't believe that, huh? You can't get it. Oh man, if it came down to the nation of Islam, oh my God, oh shit. We're really gonna start an argument. But if you guys want it, let me stop this clip. If you guys want it, it'll go to Tucker Carlson. He's on Instagram, YouTube. Just play around with Tucker Carlson a little bit. Play around with Tucker Carlson. So, do y'all want to hear Conquest? Where's Conquest? Is Conquest still in here?
Yeah, I'm here, brother.
Okay, so I said I was going to play that little clip about what you put in there about aliens. We'll probably transition into something else to this thing, Catch a Fire. Ain't you seen in 1,000 years. What's up, Dirty? We'll play that, and also, I think it was Audrey. Wasn't it Audrey? Is Audrey still in the room? Is she left? Let me check this. Audrey, where are you, Audrey? No, Audrey is left as well. But Conquest and Audrey put something in the chat to change the energy and vibe of the conversation. Here's, let's play Conquest's part.
I could just say something real quick, Brother Eugene.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just want to let everybody know what they're watching. So this is Congress Representative Tim Burkett. He's an active member of Congress and interviewer because of, it started with Obama. Obama admitted that aliens were real. We just didn't have any proof of it. That was probably about 2 weeks ago. Trump just recently said he was going to release his documents about it. So they interviewed Tim Burkett. So just listen to what he says.
And I'm going to make a quick comment behind that. When they talk about Greys, reptilians, and Nordicans and all of that stuff, those are really cold words and cold languages that they use. The idea and concept of aliens is not what we think. I'm going to say that and put that out there. Okay? The idea and concept of alien is not what we have been led to believe. Just like we've been led to believe there's a rabbit laying chicken eggs. Just like we've been led to believe there's a white man flying all over the damn world on December 25th to different toys. Just like you've been led to believe that Christianity and Islam are two different. Telling you now, the concept of aliens is what we have been led to subscribe to. You're gonna be shocked when y'all come to find out one day if you live and say that goddamn Eugene X and 40 acres and a mule. I remember him saying, whoa. I remember it. Y'all gonna remember me one of these days. Watch. It was good.
These are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that who knows how, and that if we, we think they're coming, maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here, they're in these deep water areas, and that's why, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. And if we have a higher density of sightings around these 5 or 6 deep area, the deeper our areas. And so to me, it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we got is something that does maybe a little under 40 miles an hour. So I don't want to question that stuff.
There you go. You heard what that boy said, Conquest? Did y'all hear what he said? That boy.
It's a muffle for me, but go ahead.
You want me to play it again and back it up?
Sure.
All right, I'll play it again. Listen to what that boy said when he first started this.
Entities that are,
let me go back.
Here on this, that have been on this earth, that who knows how, and that we, we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here, they're in these deep water areas, and that's why, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. And if we have a higher density of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep area, the deeper areas. And so to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we got is something that does maybe just a little over miles an hour. So,
they don't stop at that thing. So Michelle, that boy just said that they are here on this earth and they've been here on this earth.
You ain't know that.
But no, they tell you they come from outer space.
No, they've been here. That's where they came from, but they've been here and they live under the water. They've been talking about them coming from out of the water, especially in California. Is this base out there? It starts with the V, Vandenberg or something like that, man. But they've been talking about this for a while. And that place, their base that they coming off of the water. Guess what? That's some old Indian spiritual grounds out there too. That's where that's at. But yeah, Eugene, even the one, remember the orb? Remember that video from back in September I sent you? You don't remember that, Eugene? When that thing was just flying and they shot the missile and it ricocheted off of it and these 3 little things just popped off of it and then they just got in formation and followed the bigger piece. You ain't remember that?
Yeah. I remember. Hey, you know what you just made me think?
Huh?
You just made me think of, I got a clip, I'm gonna let you finish, but I got a clip where this damn boy on here talking about they got a huge UFO buried in Utah.
that.
I'm gonna try and find it. Go ahead.
And then in Peru, I sent you this video too, where them scientists, they were pulling up these carcasses of these aliens. They had these beings had like 3 fingers, elongated heads. One of them was pregnant. And the baby had an elongated head, because at first they was going to try to say, oh, these are just tribal people that like to form and shape their heads, but the baby was about to be born with an elongated head. And they had some type of chips or something. It was just something in the back of their heads or something like that. I sent you that video too. I can tell you don't be watching the shit I be sending you, man. Be like, oh, it's a video.
No, don't say that. Don't do that. I see everything you send me. I have so much I may not process it right then. But don't, baby girl, trust me. When you send me stuff, I look at it.
Remember that one though, with those 3-finger aliens and them scientists? Man, them things been here, y'all. And I'm gonna tell you, they're the reason why we got these this technology that we got, AI and shit like that. Yep. If it wasn't for them, y'all wouldn't be on this good here app right here called Clubhouse.
Could you AI how to make a bomb? Boom, 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 boom. Boom.
I'm trying to find this clip that I got where this boy is talking about a damn UFO right there in Utah. I gotta find it. Somebody take over while I get this clip. Oh, before I forget, Audrey sent another clip too. She sent a clip. Let's see what Audrey is talking about. Freemason, Deep State. Okay, she sent a clip to me, or put one in the chat. It says that George Washington warned about the Deep State and Freemasonry and stuff of that nature. I don't know if y'all want to get into that. I think that would take us away from this current conversation with regards to UFOs and things of that nature. Man, I gotta find this damn clip. Where is it at?
You know what? It's only practical they hide underwater, because, I mean, who's always underwater? You know what I mean? Ain't nobody down there. I can see that that's happening. Look, man, we're gonna be standing right next to these things next year in line at the grocery store. And I think they're in Antarctica too now. That's another spot. It's like not explored too much. Is Antarctica.
Look, Kito, I'm like, Kito. I just walked through that whole shit. I said, any of you motherfuckers ever been in jail? I said, I had this dude in the corner. He looked like motherfucking Goonie Moss. I was like, my nigga. Y'all ever see Training Day? As I walk the corridor with my fucking shoes jingling and shit, I got shoes on. I sound like the fucking corrections officer. As I walk through the labyrinth to hell, word, these niggas, you make the wrong move, you could go to jail. The shit I was just in, shit was like the back alley for real. No bays in or no L's. And they damn sure want to scream at L's. They got little holes in their car where they blow shit out like they do up in the stairwells, where niggas stare well, because they get stared down, get blam, niggas don't care, fellas.
Why they did an episode on 60 Minutes about aliens and stuff? Now 60 Minutes is on. What happened?
Hey, do y'all remember? I wonder, man, I ain't got the right people in this room now. Man, I wish I had the right people in this room while this conversation is going, because it validates my prodigyship. it validates me and the information I've been sharing with you guys. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, I used to always say, with regards to UFOs, having this conversation, everybody would leave the room when we talk about this. And I kind of got in my feelings at that time, and I said, you know what? One day, y'all don't like this conversation, but one day you're going to be forced to have this conversation. Is there anybody in the room that used to hear me always say that? Anybody here?
I like it. It's a good conversation. I like it and learn a lot from it.
I used to, Joy said he remember. Thank you, Joy.
I don't want to say this, but next time I go to the adult theater and watch a fucking private movie by my fucking self, and a motherfucker whole finger come through that, I'm chopping that shit and I'm calling the fucking 911.
I don't know what you got going on.
Hey,
nah, okay.
And no, John be on some crazy shit. But
I just watch to see what niggas is doing, and niggas definitely put their finger through the hole. And I had the door open. There was 3 niggas outside, and he still put the finger through the hole and wiggled the finger just now. At the adult theater, I was going in just to see if niggas are violating me, and they violated me. And if I call police, I'll be wrong, right?
The hell is he talking about?
Joy, I don't know what shit. Why violating you with a
finger? I'm trying to tell you, I'm in Fayetteville, and I'm manning up to the scene, and I see a certain suspect going on back here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm homeless right now. Sometimes I go to the adult theater and I take a nap on the couch there, because I ain't got nowhere to stay real quick. So I was just taking a little nap and shit, you know what I mean? I don't fuck around and do no Pee Wee Herman shit, feel me, family? But like, they got 2 sides. One side, I didn't even know they had the other side. The peephole.
Hey, man. Hey.
I didn't know about that, right?
John, you call the police, brother. Call the police, bro. You need to call the police and get some help. You've been traumatized, man. You need to get some professional help.
So wait. So hold on. Call him, bro. Call him. So wait a minute, y'all slow down.
No, I'm scared. I don't know these niggas.
Okay. Wait, Erica.
You gotta stand up for the victims, bro. Stand up for the victims. But
Go to the police, John. Okay. All right, now thank you so much.
No, but I want to tell you, man, I'm running around doing something, man, so I can't really participate. But I feel your percent. Wesley Muhammad be dropping science. It's a white boy named Stephen Greer. You ever heard of him?
Oh yeah, he invented C5.
Billy Carson.
Yeah, Billy Carson, but I'm talking about Stephen Greer.
Greer. He be with Billy Carson.
Oh yeah, he be with Billy Carson. Yeah, I'll be watching a lot of his videos too, man, dropping science on the aliens. So I'm with you, man. I just can't talk right now.
All right, it's all good. So Joy, welcome to the stage. Joy, you remember when I used to always tell them that, and they used to leave the room, and I said, that's okay, y'all don't like me now, but one day you're gonna appreciate me, and you're gonna be forced to have this conversation. You remember that, Joy? I know. Go ahead.
Well, I was in the Matrix when you recapped everything that you had said, but I do remember you talking about, we're going to be having this conversation, but I missed what you were saying about the UFO.
You remember, Joy?
I used to get up out of here, man. Like, here he go with that foolishness again.
Yeah, but now you here. I told you. You're going to be forced to have this conversation. It's going to hang around a little longer. Hey, I don't name this room the playground for intellectual prodigies for no reason. But I'm going to say this in with regards to why I mentioned that. Because I played a clip back then of Dr. Wesley, when Dr. Wesley was saying that, and this is how it happened. Let me give y'all some context. We were talking about the moon, whether or not they went to the moon. And a lot of people at that time was like, no, they never did go to the moon, blah, 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 this and that. There was an image of the fake moon landing, so forth and so on. That's the conversation. And I came in and I said, hey guys, both of you guys are right. They did do the fake moon landing and they did go to the moon. So that opened the door up for me to share with them a clip from Dr. Wesley, where Dr. Wesley said that they sent, once they went down and they found out that one of the astronauts went to the backside and he said, hey, there's crabs over there and they're looking at us. And the transmission was cut. Well, they took a nuclear bomb. They sent a nuclear bomb up there to the moon and they wanted to destroy what they found. Dr. Wesley talked about that. Listen to what this boy here has to say about the moon.
Sent a nuclear weapon for explosion on the surface. It was tended to, as I understand, to assess some scientific data, reaction, and so forth. The idea of any explosion in space by any Earth government was not acceptable to the extraterrestrials, and that has been demonstrated over and over.
Yeah,
the destruction of any nuclear weapons in space.
Hey guys, I got the room service in here. This guy's gonna be cleaning my room right quick, but yeah. So with regards to the their campaign to go to the moon, they did go, and they found some things on the moon that they were curious about. They sent a nuclear bomb up there. Let me play this clip one more time from the beginning because I don't know if did we miss something?
A nuclear weapon on the moon and exploded for scientific measurements and other things, which was not acceptable to the extraterrestrials. They destroyed the weapon before it got to the moon. With reference to the incident which our government sent a nuclear weapon for explosion on the moon's surface, it was tended to, as I understand it, to assess some scientific data and reaction and so forth. The idea of any explosion in space by any Earth government was not acceptable to the extraterrestrials. That has been demonstrated over and over.
And what's the consequence? How is that demonstrated?
By the destruction of any nuclear weapon sent into space.
All right, so that's it with regards to that little clip. But I played that tape with Dr. Wesley, and he was having an interview, and he showed he actually showed the documents. The CIA released the documents on that with regards to going to the moon and what they found. That's why they never did go back to the moon. They went the first time, but they never went back to the moon again. Remember that conversation?
And could that be why they claim that they lost all the information, the documents, and they can't go back to the moon because they didn't keep anything, all the recordings, they mysteriously lost them and don't know what happened? That don't make no sense that they would lose everything unless they saw something on the moon they don't want nobody to see. Ain't that what NASA say? That they lost all the documents, they destroyed or they got destroyed or lost? I think they say lost.
Oh, Joy got something in the chat. Let me check that out.
Oh yeah, I meant to show y'all when I had said it. But yeah, that sound like, when you hiding from somebody and you try to cover your trail, like maybe that's how they just covering their trail. They could still be set up decent up there, but they don't want you to know that.
Really, they up there, they just not telling us that.
Well, I've always had a suspicion that they've been up there because like years ago, I think in the 90s or maybe even the late 80s, in Arizona, they built this thing called the biosphere.
and they had a bunch of people live in that biosphere out of contact with any other civilization. They were contained in this biosphere, circulating its own air. They were growing their own crops. They were doing everything to live. And they just said it was an experiment, but in my mind, it's like they're trying to colonize other planets or even, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Hey, Joey, did y'all look at that damn, Joey, did you take that? Joey, was that a clip you made?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Hey, y'all go look at that shit that he, excuse my expression, I'm so sorry. Everybody take a moment and go look at that or just put it in the chat. Just take a moment to look at it.
My homeboy got it from another angle. I'm going to put that one too. Give me a second.
Everybody take a minute and click that link. Take a minute and look at that clip. You gotta watch it.
One of the orgs from over the summer back in September that they were shooting at.
Watch what it do. You saw that shit? Did you?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You did?
Where it go? Oh, you call that camera steady, man. Oh, shit, that shit moving fast as fuck.
You saw that?
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
It started off like the light bulb, right? And then it just like balled up into a fireball and just cruised toward the ocean.
Wow.
Now,
toward Miami Beach.
Now you believe the brother Eugene. You used to run from my room when I tell you that. Now, Joy, you have to vindicate me, son. You are a witness to my prodigyship. Thank you, blood.
Well, he used to run from your room?
And he'll tell you.
Yeah, definitely that topic. I ain't gonna lie. And you know what amazed me? I never forget the date because it was on 3/6. It was on March 6th last year. No, the year before last, I believe.
Yeah, no, it was last year. It's at the top of the video, March 6, 2025. How did you feel? How did you feel after seeing that?
First, my homeboy first was like, "Y'all boy, what is that?" You know, I'm sitting on the porch doing my little dude. You know, I was rolling the blunt. So the way he responded, you know, the expression, I'm like, let me check this out. It sounded like something dangerous, you feel me? So I want to see it. It was literally like above us, about 150 feet in the air. And it was real wide, and it was just like a gas cloud. So that's when I pulled out my phone.
Yeah. It's so weird that we have so much. Well, I mean, you're in the Mediterranean too, so.
I'm telling you, it's the same thing.
It really is.